Hey everyone, how are we doing today? For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Blake, and I'm a member of the Worst Possible Commander show over on Cobra Go Blue's channel. If you haven't checked out our show yet, I highly recommend you do if you like Commander. It's a ton of fun. I love doing it every week, and the one we did for the release of New Capenna was pretty insane, so I highly recommend you go check that out. But we're not here to play Commander today. Today we are looking to do some Explorer, which is a very new format here on Arena. It is basically Pioneer minus the cards that aren't on Arena for Pioneer, which is about 33% of the cards. But that does leave us with quite a few awesome cards to play with, and they will slowly be adding more and more of those cards until Pioneer is fully in Arena. I know there's a lot of people excited for Pioneer and for Explorer, and most of the reason for that is there is the big regional tournaments that will lead to the Pro Tour, so I know that there's been a pretty big resurgence. With that said, let's look at the deck we're playing today. We're playing with one of my favorite cards of all time, Aetherworks Marvel. This is a card that is 4-mana artifact. Whenever a permanent you control is put into the graveyard, you get an energy, and you can tap it and pay 6 energy to look at the top 6 and cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. And that is used to get out things like Ulamog, Ugin, and potentially Golos. So how do we trigger Aetherworks Marvel? We have 4 Attune with Aethers. This card, for those of you who don't know, was actually banned in Standard at one point, believe it or not. And this just gets us land into our hand and some energy. We also have Harness Lightning and Woodweaver Puzzle Knot, as well as 4 Rogue Refiners, 3 Whirler Virtuoso. So those are the ways that we generate energy. We spend that energy to use Aetherworks Marvel. Another thing that we have going on here is Karn the Great Creator, and I'll show you the sideboard in a second. We are playing best of 3 with this deck. I am more so a best of 3 player than a best of 1 player, and this is amazing because it gets cards out of our sideboard, artifacts, which is where the 4th Aetherworks Marvel and a couple other cards that you'll be seeing. We also have some removal in the form of a Braid. Valakut Awakening is actually really good because sometimes these cards can get stuck in your hand for forever, and it's great to get those out and draw some new ones. And then there's Golos, another favorite of mine. 5 mana for a 3/5, go fetch a land, and then you can pay 7, 2 plus Wooburg, and you can play the top 3 cards of your deck for free. The way that you get to activate Golos is you get the World Tree with it that lets your lands tap for any color. And yeah, that's the main deck. Let's look at the sideboard real quick. In the sideboard, we have, for the Wish part, Damping Sphere, which is really good against some of the decks that are trying to do some of the dumber stuff out there. Another Aetherworks Marvel, which lets Karn become a fetch for it. It's basically Aetherworks Marvel 4 through 7. We can also get a Tormod's Crypt, which is great against the Kroxa decks. Tithing Needle for the Planeswalkers or other annoying things. And then another Golos, if that's what we're looking for in the moment. In terms of the rest of the board, Fry is great against any of the blue-white aggressive decks, or the control decks where you want to kill like a Teferi or a Narset. Chandra Awakened Inferno is also really good against the control decks because it can't be countered and you can give them emblems that make them slowly die. We also have Negates and a second Fry. I don't know how all this is all weird to me, but 2 Negates and 2 Mystical Disputes for the same reason. They're just really good against the control decks. And Negates are actually really good against the Thoughtseize decks because they're trying to rip apart our combo. And then we just have 2 Anger of the Gods for the more aggressive decks. All right, guys, let's get in there. All right, here we are in our first match. We won the die roll, so we will play first. This hand is just way too slow. There's just no way we can do anything with this hand. This hand's also slow, but it should still work fine. We'll put Ugin on the bottom, leaving a bunch of lands in our hand, and let's see how this goes. Tap Stomping Grounds. What we're trying to do is, one of the great things about Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot is actually it lets us go Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, turn 2, turn 3, crack it for more energy, and then on turn 4 we actually have all the energy we need to just activate Aetherworks Marvel. So that is the card we're definitely looking to draw the most. Okay, we're trying to dodge Thought Seizes right now because we really want to resolve Karn, especially with all the lands we're drawing. Let's just play Crag Crown. Let's just play Breeding Pool, paying the life, and we'll pass the turn. Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot is such a good card in this deck. The fact that it gains you life as well is just so insane. Yeah, this is all fine. What they're doing is not going to be good enough to stop us unless they start disrupting. The best draw here is an Aetherworks Marvel, but... Oh! We're off to the races. Let's see how our first Aetherworks Marvel activation goes. Well, that was a good draw. Turns out. We didn't even have to use our Karn for it. Yeah, I guess... Alright, first match of this deck ever, and we have a turn 4 Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger. What are we killing here? Do we care about Underworld Dreams? Not really. Let's just kill their 2 creatures. Those get exiled, and now we have a 10/10 Indestructible. That's, I love this deck. Aetherworks Marvel is probably one of my favorite cards in Magic. By far. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. That's too bad. Aetherworks Marvel, probably my favorite card of all time. If not, well, besides Force of Will. That's a different thing entirely. Aetherworks Marvel is just so fun. It's just so cool. Alright, they had enough. Well, that was a good start. Let's see. Against that deck, I actually think we just want to go with 2 Anger of the Gods. And it didn't look like it was playing like Cat Oven or anything like that, so I don't think we need a Braids. Harness Lightning's actually really good. This card's very interesting. It costs 2, and you can choose a creature and gain 3 energy, then pay any amount of energy, and it deals that much damage to the creature. So you could do it for all the energy you have if you made energy otherwise, or you could do it for 0 and just gain 3 energy, though you do have to have a creature to target. Alright. No, I don't think this is going to do it either. It's just we need early plays. This hand is going to be great, though. I'm just going to put Ulamog on the bottom. This is the sort of deck where you really should not be afraid to mulligan here and there. What you grabbing here? What they should do is grab the Puzzle Knot, but I'm sure they're going to grab Karn, yeah. Yep, we're just going to play the Trial and Pass. Puzzle Knot just gives us so many more options. Waste Knot, okay. Waste Knot's cool. Let's just play Frag Crown and Woodweavers. Play it red side up just because we have Anger of the Gods in the deck. What else you got for me? This is all fine. Let's play... Yeah, let's play Attune with Aether. The reason why I'm playing Attune, I'm actually going to play both Attunes here. And the reason for that is I want to get some of the lands out of my deck so that there's just fewer draws that are just bad. Then next turn we could play the World Tree and... Oh, buddy. That's too bad. And then sometimes you draw the Ugins. That happens sometimes. Now, when it comes to Whirler Virtuoso, you can pay 3 energy to make a 1/1 flyer. This does come up more often than you might think, but it's not something that you do on the regular. Like, you never want to go below 6 energy if you can with it. Just because if you draw an Aetherworks Marvel, it is very important to be able to activate it. Here, I don't think I'm going to make a Thopter. I don't think it really is important right now. Another Attune, eh? We are running into the classic control deck problem of we just have all of the enablers and none of the payoffs yet. But we have many payoffs that we could draw. Golos would be fine. Aetherworks Marvel obviously would be great. We have lots of options.
Under my watch, neither
Yeah, let's just
vampire nor human will go extinct.
gain our life. Maybe we did want to make a Thopter, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Dire times. call
Okay.
for dire
We are going to have to stop drawing lands, or I guess continue to draw lands and just cast a turn 8 Ugin, which would be hilarious. And the reason, luckily with Field of Ruin, that's why we run 2 World Trees. That's fine. Go get our last basic. Interesting. I suppose they're not making any... Their hand must be bad.
Not for the weak.
Yep, that's fine. I'm not going to use Otawara here. I want to be able to play Mountain. Oh my goodness. We have Boseiju in case they try to make us discard a card with one, and so that Waste Not doesn't give them any value. But the draw, oh my goodness.
Nothing on Innistrad
That was a good draw.
is free.
Yeah, let's kill the Waste Not. I'm still not going to use Otawara here. I want to, in case we draw another Ugin or something else, I want to have that as a possibility. Eventually, we might draw Ulamog and want to cast that, which is hilarious. Oh, this is going to chunk us. Woo! Yeah, these sort of decks are not always the easiest for us, just because they have so much disruption. Not that we drew particularly well either. Ugh. No Ketria Triumph. I know this is going to hurt, and that's an Ulamog. 2, 4... Yeah, I'm not super confident we're going to be able to win this one. We just sort of drew a whole lot of nothing for too long. Which... Oh yeah, you just ult. Alright, fair enough. That's funny. I've never died to a Sorin ult before. That's new. What do we want? Do we want to change anything? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Let's just ship it. You know, sometimes when you get the turn 4 Ulamog out, sometimes you have to have the hand where you don't do a whole lot. That is the cruel mistress of Aetherworks Marvel. Are we gonna keep a keepable hand? Yeah, we can keep this. Go Bark Channel, grab a Mountain. We're somewhat weak to heavy Thoughtseize disruption hands. Yeah, that'll happen. Hello? I do hope we can get some value out of Anger of the Gods. Oh. Yeah, then you draw like this, and it's quite a bit. It's a very polarizing deck. The hands can be either really good or really bad. Okay, they missed a land drop. Let's cycle Ketria Triumph, see what we see. Yeah, you can add your mana. Doesn't really matter. Aetherworks Marvel. That's fine. As always, I want to draw a Rogue Refiner or a Puzzle Knot, it feels like. Don't make me discard? Hey. Alright, so here's an interesting thing that could come up. Because Aetherworks Marvel is legendary, we can play another Aetherworks Marvel and then get 2 energy off of the when a permanent is put into a graveyard effect. So that is something that could come up. Yep, that's fine. See, and now we get to see the power of Harness Lightning. We're just going to target this, pay no energy to use it, and we will activate Aetherworks Marvel. Let's see what we get. Interesting. I actually think we just go with... It's tough, but I think we're going to get Golos here. We could have gotten Puzzle Knot and basically guaranteed activated... Marvel next turn, but I actually don't think that's what we want. And the reason why is because it diversifies our threats a little bit more to do it this way. Like, if we got Puzzle Knot and then they just killed the Marvel, we're kind of stuck doing nothing. Do I want to deal with this right now? Not really. I kind of want to force them, make them pay the 3 if they want to buff it. Now, a land would be a great draw. Interesting. I think we're going to go ahead and discard 6. This is tough. We're keeping, I don't know. What are we keeping, actually? I think we just get rid of Aetherworks and Ulamog. And the reason why is eventually we can play Ugin, and that way even if they destroy this... Now, let's just wipe their board. And then get in for some damage. And it looks like we're not doing much, but we are in a pretty strong position. If we draw an untapped land, we can activate Golos. And the reason why I got the second World Tree is because there's always a chance that they try to kill the World Tree with one of their Field of Ruins. Man, I didn't want to have to do this, but... I don't want them to make me sack a creature. Alright, lands are the best. Even a Golos wouldn't be terrible. Land is great. Let's see what Golos gives us. God, I love this deck so much. Oh, yeah. Puzzle Knot, and then here we go. Virtuoso, and then Marvel. Oh, this deck's so sick. Oh, my God. Lockthwain, see, yes! That is match 1 down. This, I love. If you don't love Aetherworks Marvel by the end of this, I don't know what to tell you. All right, welcome back everybody to another match with Aetherworks. Let's see. His hand's not great, but I am going to keep it. It's got the combo, some of the combo pieces. Rogue Refiner just does so much work here. And I think just having an Abrade's great. I don't think it's going to be great against this deck. The Yorion, I'm not sure if this is the aggro deck, or the, like a creature-focused deck or a control deck, but we shall find out. Oh, they mulled down to 5? Yikes. Well, that's rough. The World Tree. I know that card. The one thing that this deck is missing, one of the main things that this deck is missing compared to the Pioneer version, which is also not a super popular deck, but one of my favorites, is Emrakul the Promised End, which is the one that's a 13/13, and it basically steals your opponent's next turn. It is missing that, which is unfortunate, but I think the Ulamogs and the Ugins are going to be generally enough. They're just such high power cards. So here's the question. I think I just play out the Rogue Refiner. And if they counter it, that's fine. Okay. Well, that's a good sign. We just want to make sure we're hitting our land drops, so... Okay. Marvel's a good card. They have anything end of turn here? The new Broker's Charm, perhaps? I don't know if any of you were playing Standard when these cards were out, but this deck was a total menace in Standard. Oh, they missed their land drop. That's too bad. Just play this green side up. Then I think we're just going to play This is interesting. If I had known I was drawing... I guess I did know. Maybe I wanted to play... Yeah, let's just be mana efficient and play the Virtuoso. If they counter it, that's also fine. We're in one of the better positions against a control deck where we have a decent board and they have to basically counter every spell we play from here on. Which I have found that to be a nice spot to be in. Best card we could draw is for sure Attune with Aether. This is fine. You're gonna chump? Oh my goodness. This poor guy. Sometimes it just happens. And we are going to run the Aetherworks Marvel out. They haven't countered anything we've done yet. And we have a Karn to go get another Marvel if they counter this. And we are coming in for 5 this turn. So it's not like we're just doing nothing on board. Yep, that's fine. Dovin's Veto is exactly what I was expecting. Let's get our 5 damage in and pass the turn. It's so crazy that this is a cast trigger, not even an ETB. Okay. This feels like, if they're drawing well, it feels like a tougher matchup for us, especially in the first game. Which is why I'm quite glad that we... Well, I feel bad that they mulligan, but it's nice to get an advantage in game 1 because... Okay, that's... totally fine. So the question becomes now, Golos or Karn? And I think we get Golos, because then if we draw a land, we can start using Golos. And then it's harder for them to counter multiple spells. You know, if we are 1-for-1ing them, they can counter... So I'm assuming they're also a Golos deck, because they're playing the World Tree, and it's a great card with Yorion. Whereas my friend CGB would say, Yorion! Alright, let's just play land. Let's activate Golos. And see what we see. We can play lands off of this, but we have already played our land for turn, so we won't get to this time, but... we get to play whatever we get. Amazing! All your lands are gone. This deck is amazing! What you got for me, dude? Yeah, you can tap that for some mana. It ain't no thing. It ain't no thing. I am ceaselessly hungry. But actually, though. Got some tikka masala for dinner tonight? Mm-mm. Delish. Okay, that's fine. I'm surprised. Interesting. Alright, we'll get a Ketria Triome. I love that this card lets people get Triomes. I think that's so... well... it definitely makes the card weaker, but it is quite nice. We're taking our sweet time. All right. I was originally wanting to do Pioneer on MTGO, but I am just so not a fan of MTGO's system. Like, I played a bunch of it, and I don't love it. I like Arena way more. So when Explorer came out, I was like, yeah, I'm moving on to this full time for my 60-card gaming. In paper, though, I still play a decent amount of Pioneer. Alright, well, let's just keep giving them threats. It's minus. It's funny. Ulamog's actually not amazing against this deck because it takes so long to get through all their stuff. I'm assuming if they didn't counter Karn, well, there's always the thought of... Okay, that's fine. You still exile 20. You're still gonna get hit by the Rogue Refiner.
You're done.
Let's see what they got. Yeah, about all the stuff I would expect them to be playing. Take some damage. We'll play our Marvel now. And let's see what we get. Eugene? Yeah, old Eugene. Bzzzt. This deck is so sick. Oh my god. Oh. Even if you don't want to play Explorer much, just give this deck a rip. I promise you it's worth it. For the sideboard, we're taking out Harness Lightnings and Abrades. It doesn't look like they have any creatures we care enough about to keep those in. Let's bring in at least one Chandra, and I think we take out one of the Whirler Virtuosos. I like keeping Attunes in. I like keeping everything else. Alright, here we are in match number 2. This hand's very interesting, but I don't think I can keep it. It doesn't do anything. And that's really not a place you want to be at. This hand's actually quite a bit better, despite having all of our lands be tap lands. If you're giving this deck a go for yourself, I highly recommend you be willing to mulligan, especially when you're learning the deck. Sometimes you just have to mulligan hands because otherwise some hands just don't do anything. They look appealing because they've got a bunch of low drops. They've got, you know, Attune and Woodweaver's Puzzle and stuff. But if you don't have anything else to do with it, especially against a control deck, you're just going to find yourself in a really tough position. Like, even this, I'm a little bit afraid of, because now they can just start holding up counter spells forever, and I don't love that. But let's see what they do. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Let's play this red side and just start playing Rogue Refiners. They're gonna get countered, and that's okay. I would assume. Maybe they just have a bunch of Dovin's Vetoes. We're kind of trying to save Aetherworks Marvel for when we have like a Mystical Dispute or something back. Yeah, that was not the draw we're looking for. Let's play a Rogue Refiner. Okay, that resolving's nice. But I'm curious what they've got. Something end of turn, I assume? Growth Spiral. Yeah, that's fine. This card has been insane since it came out. And our set is fine.
The focused and disciplined. Hone your prowess.
So when it comes to our turn, oh, Censor, eh? Well, then we're definitely not running anything out into that. So we're gonna play our Triumph, and then let's just attack Narset and see what happens. I hope they try to do something to save it here. Okay. I think I'm just gonna hold up Fry. I really don't want to run in one of my cards into their Censor when I could play around it so easily. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. It feels a little bit bad. If Ketria Triumph wasn't a tap land, it would have been quite a bit better, but that's fine. Alright. I think we are... Let's play Karn. Assume they're gonna counter it. Yep, that's fine. With how this game's going, right now we're kind of in the make sure that they can't really do anything until... Like, just force them to deal with our stuff so that our Rogue Refiner can kill them. I've won a lot of games with this deck. Well, I haven't played a ton of this deck, but I've won a decent amount of games with this deck just by using Rogue Refiner to slowly kill them. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. Slowly kill them while I, like, play threat after threat. What's really nice, actually, is the fact that they gave me an untapped land makes it so that I can play Mystical Dispute and Censor and pay for Censor. Okay, what you got for this? Anything to deal with the Rogue Refiner coming in? They're tanking. I mean, realistically, we don't mind if they... Ooh. I think we actually fry here. We still get to keep up Mystical Dispute. Our opponent just surely does not want to tap out in any way. Alright, let's just go in again. Drawing a tap land there also just feels bad still. Yeah, we'll Mystical Dispute that. Then bonk him for 3. Bonk. Bonk. Man, this is... It's not looking amazing right now. We just really want them to, like, tap out for something. Come on. You know you want to. Alright, let's just go Golos with Censor back up. I don't really want to run out Aetherworks Marvel. It just doesn't do anything even if it does resolve. Okay. What you got here? Top or bottom? I actually think we want to draw this. As weird as that sounds. Yeah, definitely want to draw it now.
For my excellent
Oh, Teferi.
skip to
You've
the
done
good
many
part.
things in your time. Luckily, I got the card that was meant to just destroy you, little chicken. He probably misses leg day, and that's why he's got the chicken legs when he gets fried. That's my opinion, at least. Peacock. Okay, we're gonna play Rogue Refiner, see what they do. I assume they counter it. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. This is how you slowly come out of these positions. Do I? This is actually a good question. 3, 6. I think I play this as a land. I just think the game might go long enough that that's going to be the play. Take those little chicken legs, bro. What, you got Otawara to respond or something? You can't counter it. Yes. Yes! See, putting Rogue Refiner on top was pretty nice, actually. Because we end up in the same spot we would have if we'd put it on the bottom with Valakut as a land, but we have a Rogue Refiner and 2 more energy in play. Yeah, Memory Deluge. I'm starting to think maybe we want to have even more of a sideboard against control decks. I don't know. It's tough. Next turn, I'm likely going to be playing Marvel just to get another counter out of their hand. At this point, I just want to force them to tap mana still. Aether Hub. Ooh, that makes Aetherworks Marvel even more threatening, eh? Yep. For someone who's running over at least 80 cards, they sure are drawing a lot of absorbs, eh? Hopefully they don't have like another Memory Deluge or something. That would be sad. Okay. So they have 8 mana. We are losing this game right now. We just didn't... Okay. I'm not running an Ugin into a sensor. I'm starting to think maybe we want one like creature land, like a Lair of the Hydra or something. Do we want it on the top or the bottom? Let's do it. It worked for us fine last time. Man, they have refused to cycle this sensor. I respect that. I respect that a lot in a deck that, when I have this much mana out and they still don't want to cycle the sensor, that's a good move. Maybe a Castle Vantress. Just something to do with my mana in situations like this. Yeah, Yorian's fine. Alright, what you got? See? Rogue Refiner doing work. You can't counter this. There's no way you counter this. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, I'll pay for it. Please censor it. That'd be awesome. Interesting. That's a lot of resources they spent on a puzzle knot. I don't think they understand exactly what's going on here or something. That was definitely not what they wanted to do. Orion? With nothing? Okay. Oh, this plays around another sensor. And we're one turn away from casting an Ulamog straight up. I'm sure they have another counter, but we have to be running them low now. Ah, this is beautiful. The deck can grind, that's for sure. Especially if they spend 2 counters on a Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Ooh, I'll wipe the board and get a Trick Clue any day of the week. Yeah, that's great. Now I get to just start chaining Ulamogs after this, as long as I draw land. Alright, hopefully they play like a land or something. 4, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana right now. Alright, well, let's do it. Ulamog. Daddy's home. World Tree can go. Yes, Vantress. I am Ulamog. I'm so hungry. And I got big arms. Like, look at it. This guy's jacked. Do you know how much this guy probably benches? More than me. Okay. I'm expecting them to counter this, and it's honestly not the worst thing in the world if they do. I'm surprised that they did that in that order. I think maybe we're playing against some newer players. I'm not really sure. What else you got? Do you have a sensor or something? You're really slow rolling this. Okay. Are they gonna let the mana dissipate? Because that's gonna make me roll my eyes. Don't let the mana dissipate. You can't Faithful Absence this. I don't. Well, actually, yeah, you can't. I'm glad you tapped that mana. I know it's the right play, but when there's nothing to do, come on. Hey, at least I haven't clicked through an entire turn like I do in Moto a lot.
I know what must be done.
That's fine. Just -3, blah, blah, blah. Oh.
No time for a break.
Well, I didn't expect that. Do they have a way to deal with Ulamog? They're paying the life. What's happening? What do they have? Something that bounces it? Like, I'm just going to attack their face. Oh. I will be putting that on top. I will continue to chain Ulamogs for as long as you're willing to let me. You ever see so many Ulamogs cast in one game? In 60 card Magic and not cheated out hard cast Ulamog? This sort of thing doesn't happen a lot. I mean, realistically, yeah, we got there. All right, we'll see you in the next one. All right, here we are in our final match with the Aetherworks Marvel deck for this video. We're facing our friend Hillbilly Smurf. It's quite the name there, my friend. Yeah, this hand'll do. We'll keep the Awakening. I like our matchup against basic planes on turn 1. Yeah, I like our matchup a lot here. The question becomes, though... let's just do it. We have 2 turns to draw land. I don't think Walking Ballista's in the format. I honestly have no idea. Oh, you know what I can do, actually? This is probably a much better play. Let's just cast a tune. Just get Island. And then pass. This way, if they have any kind of shenanigans, we can harness Lightning. And if they don't have shenanigans, we will harness Lightning for 0. That's fine. Well, this one's over.
I understand you're in
This one's going to be
support.
tough for them to come back from. Because we will just do it for 1. Goodbye, Unruly Mob. No more ruling for you. We will then cast an Aetherworks Marvel. This card is the best! Oh. This card is the worst! I was hoping we could bonk him, but we didn't bonk. What is this? Whenever 1 or more non-token creatures you control die, make a 2/1 Inkling, yeah.
Strength is born of struggle.
Interesting. How very interesting. Well, let's do it. Eugene? What? What is this? What is this? What do I grab here? Just Karn? Minus Karn.
I will not lose another friend.
And then get... probably just Pithing Needle for a Johnny. I think it's Adversary of Tyrants. Yes. Alright, and we'll pass. Well, the Marvels have not been great so far. Though I guess they haven't really done anything either, so... if they were really smart, they'd attack my face, not Karn. I don't know. I'm sure they just don't know that, though. Okay. They did it. I respect that. I respect that a lot. Alright, Puzzle Knots. Time to start making me just tons of energy, shall we? Come on. What? What? I'm about to call bull on this.
You will not threaten this world.
Probably just get Golos. What is that? What's going on right now? Am I unpunked? Am I getting trolled? I feel like I'm getting trolled. Yes, doesn't have trample though, so I'm not super worried about it. The question is, do I make a dude right here? No. I'm not weak. This is not for cowards. Yeah, with Marvel out, sacking a Puzzle Knot gives you 4 energy. So sick. Finally something. I guess there's just no Ulamogs in the deck, which is really sad. Yeah, that's enough. Get out of here, Hillbilly Smurf. But I'll see you in the next one. I guess Anger of the Gods, and I'll put in 1 Fry. Do I want negates against his Planeswalkers? I actually don't think so. Let's go down on a Braids. Actually, I think let's go with the second Fry. It just kills their Planeswalkers real easy. Drop a Whirler Virtuoso. And probably a Harness Lightning. Oh, so there are 3. Okay, I wasn't sure after that last one. Look at Liliana. What is up? And then there's my boy Teferi just... All right, this is game 2. Oh. Man, I'm gonna keep it. This is a really dangerous keep, to say the least. Gonna grab a mountain. Please be nice to me. Oh. Yo, thanks, dog. Now all we need to do is draw land this turn, or draw Aetherworks Marvel this turn, and then a land, and we just can't lose. Luminarch Aspirant, or as my friend CGB would say, Ass Pirate. Let's go green side so we can cast Rogue Refiner. I'm not super worried about Anger of the Gods right now. I just want to be able to hit land drops. Yeah, that way we can play a Karn next turn, and then the turn after that, Marvel. Hey! Hey! Get out of here. Well, you asked for this, dude. This is not my fault. You've brought this on yourself. Oh, they kept a 2-lander. Man! That ain't cool. Why are people keeping these sketch hands? I like having tough matches. I don't like the easy ones. I don't care about my rank or anything. Marvel? If I cared about my rank, I wouldn't be playing Aetherworks Marvel. Lion Sash, that's the, like, scoos? Yeah. Okay, goodbye, Karn. You did your job.
Always another
Ah. Marvelous! Marvelous! Ooh, lama. Do we do it? Are we these people? Yeah, we are. What an amazing... That was amazing. Alright, so one of the main focuses I want for this channel is to, you know, improve together. I want this to be an experience where we both are learning and getting better at things together. And so after this, now that we're done with the matches, I want to just look at the deck and talk about what I liked and what I didn't. Obviously, the deck performed great here. I don't know how likely that is to be the case in the future. We're going to find out. I'll definitely be revisiting this deck at some point, though I think I'm going to be playing Winota next. But in any case, let's talk about the deck and what we liked. I think the Tua Braids main deck were not great, though we never had somebody play like an oven when we had it in our hand, so in those situations it is great. I actually think I would cut those two for something else. Potentially Servant of the Conduit, which is, for those of you who don't know, 1 and a green for a 2/2. When it ETBs, you gain 2 energy, and it's a mana dork that costs you energy. You might be wondering why I'm not playing it. It is because it is a little... It's slow, and it's the only card that actually turns on red burn spells for it. Like, I don't care if you kill my Virtuoso or my Rogue Refiner. I do care if you kill my Servant, so I'd rather just, like, blank those cards. For the main deck, yeah, a Braids might come out for... It's actually tough. Maybe one more Ugin, potentially. Yeah, I'll have to think about that, actually. That's interesting. For the sideboard seemed like it was great. The 2 Fries were really nice in a lot of the matchups. Damping Sphere seems great. I actually had a match like earlier today where I was just practicing the deck a little bit, where they had a Linvala out, so I had to get a Damping Sphere out and then cast a spell, then use Aetherworks Marvel so that my Marvel cost 1 mana with the Damping Sphere so I could get around Linvala. It was awesome. The Chandra Awakened Infernos, no real experience with them, so I'm not sure how I feel. The 2 Negates, 2 Mystical Disputes were good. I actually think some Spell Pierces would be good. I'm not fully sure. The Golos seemed pretty good out of the board. I really like this build. The Karn build is much better than the fully focused on getting Aetherworks Marvel out as soon as possible. All right, well, please feel free to give me some advice down in the comments. Tell me any decks that you want to see. I really appreciate everyone watching, and thanks for pioneering Explorer with me.